Tiana stood at the edge of the school hallway, gripping her books like a shield. It was only her third week at the new school, but she already felt the weight of being the outsider. The whispers followed her like shadows. She thinks she's too good. Why is she always alone? And though she pretended not to care, the sting hit her heart every time. Tiana was used to being the new girl, but this time, something felt different, darker. The trouble began when she scored the highest grade in math class, a surprise to everyone. Especially to Brittany and her group, who were used to being praised and feared. That day, Brittany had glared at her like Tiana had stolen something from her. The air grew colder around her after that, and the bullying began, not with fists, but with silence, isolation, and cruel jokes whispered just loud enough for her to hear. By the second month, the teasing escalated. Snide comments turned into hallway accidents. Shoulders bumped, hard, books knocked to the floor, and laughter echoing around her. Tiana tried to hold her head high, tried to tell herself she didn't care. She came to school for one reason: to make her late mom proud. Her mother had always told her, "Be strong, baby girl. Even when the world ain't kind, you shine." But nothing could have prepared her for what happened that Friday. It was lunchtime. Tiana had just gotten her tray and was heading to an empty table when Brittany stood in her path. Behind her, two other girls blocked the way. "You think you're better than us?" Brittany sneered. Tiana stayed silent, clutching her tray. Suddenly, Brittany reached forward and grabbed Tiana by the collar, yanking her toward her. The cafeteria went silent, gasps filling the room. "Say something now, genius." Time froze. But only for a second. Tiana took a deep breath. She didn't yell. She didn't fight back in anger. She slowly pulled Brittany's hand off her collar and stood tall. Then, in a calm, even voice that could be heard across the entire cafeteria, she said, "You don't scare me, and no matter how loud you are, I won't shrink so you can feel tall." The silence broke with murmurs. Brittany tried to speak, but her mouth opened and closed with no sound. Then came the real shock. Tiana walked up onto the cafeteria stage, where the mic had been left on from earlier announcements. With hands slightly shaking but her eyes burning with strength, she shared her story. She talked about moving from city to city, about losing her mother to illness, about how education was her dream and her way forward. She spoke of bullying, not just hers, but the kind others face in silence. And when she finished, she simply said, "We all deserve to feel safe here." The cafeteria erupted. Some clapped, others stood in respect. A few even cried, but the loudest silence came from Brittany, now red-faced and speechless. What happened next changed everything. The principal called Tiana to the office, not to punish her, but to thank her. The school launched a campaign called Voices Matter, led by Tiana herself. She was invited to speak at assemblies, became the student council's advocate for kindness, and even started a peer support group. As for Brittany, she was suspended for her actions, but surprisingly, weeks later, she asked to speak at one of Tiana's meetings. And though it wasn't easy, Tiana gave her the mic. The story of a quiet, black girl who was grabbed by her collar turned into the story of a leader who grabbed hold of her voice and used it to change her world. Moral message: true strength isn't in fighting back with fists. It's in standing tall, speaking truth, and inspiring others to rise with you.